Yo, just real quick, I wanted to go over something because I really wanted to pick your brain. So please comment on this video. Like out of all the videos I've ever done, I really want to have this more of a just like a discussion afterwards, after you have seen this video. Just a little bit different format than usual, but I'm really curious because I posted a video on the Acoustics YouTube channel, turning one of their articles into a video for them. And it was about CIH. And if you're not familiar, CIH means constant image height. And it's typical for your dedicated home theaters that are run by a projector system. So you've got your nice projector screen, your projector. So the thing about CIH, or constant image height, is that it's in the name. The image height is always constant. No matter how many different aspect ratios you're dealing with, the height will always remain the same. So the variations will be in the width of the image. So of course, since you're dealing with a dedicated home theater with a projector system, normally you're going to have some sort of really nice dedicated space where nothing else is going on except watching movies in there. And typically it's going to be more expensive. So I realize this is probably not going to be relevant to a lot of you out there, including myself. I have a dedicated theater technically in this office here, but at the same time, I really can't do a lot with it because it's in an office building. So I can't really watch anything during business hours or else it would disturb my office neighbors. So I would have to come in here after hours or on the weekends just to, enjoy this ridiculous setup behind me. So of course you can obviously have just over the top crazy tech involved with your CIH dedicated projector screen system, whatever. There is such a thing as motorized masking, like your typical cinema, right? You're watching ads and previews and stuff and it's like full screen. But then if a CinemaScope, like 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio, if that is what the actual movie is, then you'll see this motorized dark matte start to come down in an actual cinema to block out the space that isn't needed. So same thing with constant image height. You can have a motorized system that literally moves in and out with motors, some sort of masking material, velvet, or maybe even some see-through material that wouldn't be visible if the lights are off. So that can like open up or shrink down depending on if you're watching something that's 4:3, 16:9, 2.35 to 1, that kind of thing. But as I was making this video for Acoustics, it really got me thinking, like, what are your thoughts on the aspect ratio actually moving or taking shape rather than just having, black bars on the sides or black bars on the top? Like if you have a 16:9 TV, like most of us do these days. So whenever we watch something that's 16:9, it's going to take up the entire real estate of your TV. But if you're watching something 4:3, you're going to see black bars on the sides. And if you're watching something 2.35 to 1 ratio, you're going to see black bars on the top and the bottom, right? I went over all the details on constant image height for this Acoustics video, but I don't think I'm on that team. Going over the pros and the cons of constant image height. Yeah, the height is always the same, but having the width change, I was really trying to figure out why, in my mind, having a constant image width would be better than constant image height. So I get it. If you were watching something that was 16:9 and then you switched it over to a movie that is CinemaScope or 2.35 to 1, and you see the mask open up and then it's like, boom, then you're taking up the entire real estate of your 2.35 to 1 ratio projector screen. Cool. That I guess that's kind of cool. But to me, squashing in the width to watch something 16:9, I think makes it smaller. For whatever reason, I can't wrap my head around it any other way as to think you are just drastically reducing the size of the picture when you're reducing the width. Because there are projection systems or projection masking systems that are the complete opposite. They are constant image width masking systems. Also, you can do it DIY where you just have like magnetic masks that you put up there if you know you're going to watch something that's 2.35 to 1 or whatever. Or you can have a motorized version that's obviously a lot more expensive. But at all times, in a constant image width system, you will have a 16:9 aspect ratio projector screen, not CinemaScope. So it's basically the same idea as having a 16:9 television. So you've got your 16:9 aspect ratio at all times. And then if you switch over to something that is 2.35 to 1, you'll see the motorized masks start to crop in on the top and the bottom. Because to me, like, I don't see that making the image smaller if it's the same width, you know? I don't mind bars on the top and the bottom as much as I do bars on the sides. Bars on the sides, to me, again, just make it seem smaller. So with a 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio projector screen, when I'm watching something 16:9 and it comes in on the sides, I don't know, even though it's the same height, it still seems like it's drastically reducing the size of what I'm actually watching. Am I wrong? Because again, it brings me back to when Disney Plus introduced IMAX Enhanced. So before, a lot of the MCU titles on Disney Plus were CinemaScope. So you would have black bars on the top and the bottom. But a lot of them had scenes that were shot on IMAX cameras. So then Disney Plus introduced that, and then it basically took up your entire 16:9 television. See, that to me seems like a larger, more grand presentation. You know, say hypothetically behind me, I had a projector screen that took up the entire width of that wall back there. If it took up the entire width of the wall back there, and then I had a 16:9 aspect ratio, it would be huge, right? And then if I'm watching something that is 2.35 to 1, and I've got letterbox bars on the top and the bottom, I still have a picture that is as large as the entire width of the wall. To me, that doesn't seem like it's reducing anything. It's just making it a little more cinematic. That just happens to be narrower on the top and the bottom. But I'm not reducing the width. I mean, I know I'm already starting to sound like a broken record. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I didn't want this to be a super long video or anything. I just wanted to get that discussion started. You know, eventually I would love to have my own really nice dedicated theater on my own property in a separate building from my home. Unless I win the lottery, I really don't know how I'm going to be able to afford that. So until that happens, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what is better. Do I want a constant image height system where it's always 2.35 to 1 and then masking happens on the sides? Or do I want a more kind of IMAX feel where it's always 16:9 and then motorized letterboxes from the top and the bottom? Like even something like, for example, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park was filmed in basically a like 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio, which is basically 16:9. Steven Spielberg didn't want to shoot it in CinemaScope because he wanted to have this grand scale of seeing large dinosaurs. So if I'm watching the original Jurassic Park on a projector screen, I want it to be 16:9. And I want to have that 16:9 ratio taking up basically the entire width of the wall that the projector is projecting onto. That to me just seems like it would be more immersive. So there's an example of why I think constant image width would be better. So yeah, drop a comment, please. Let's get this discussion going. I want to see some wheels on this video and try and get a lot of people responding. So tell your friends, share this with a lot of people you know. I want a lot of people to weigh in on this. So as always, this world is crazy as it is already, so it only makes sense to be kind to everyone you come in contact with. Don't just watch TV shows and movies, experience them. Maybe on a constant image height or constant image width projector system. And of course, appreciate sound design.